All right, welcome back to the Dirt Road. I'm here with Rick.
It's Mike over there. What's up, baby?
That's our farm. You'll never find it. It's hidden in New York City.
It's actually in Iowa. We're hillbillies. Remember,
Yeah,
we're hillbillies.
I forgot about that.
As one of our commenters said. Mike, breaking news came across right after the debate. I don't know if you saw it. Right after Trump and Harris were done with their debate. Literally, and I cracked up, by the way. Literally, as all the talking head morons were saying their piece about the debate,
Excuse me, sorry.
they actually stopped their conversation with the breaking news that Taylor Swift had just tweeted out to her Swifties that after the debate she has decided, as if she didn't decide before, but she decided that she is endorsing Kamala Harris. Two things, Mike. What do you think of that? And number two, what do you think of the endorsement and Taylor Swift and so forth? But secondly, what seems much more important to me, why in the fuck is that breaking news?
Well, first off, it's not breaking news. It's ridiculous. It was timed, obviously, and it's stupid. Who cares? I know the endorsement thing, right? So we were talking about this a little while ago, but if it's unions endorsing or civic organizations endorsing, things like that, that tells you a lot about the candidate's policy and what they're going to do while they're in office, okay? And that matters to you because policy is everything, right? That's what this comes down to. When Robert De Niro or, Taylor Swift or somebody else like this is endorsing, to me it's like, okay, that's nice, okay, good for you. I don't know, what do you want to tell you?
But do you think it makes a difference? Like, do you? I mean, honestly, she has a ton of fans.
She has a huge amount of fans.
They're like Eminem fans, right? I mean, they are stans. They're all in.
Fair enough.
Do you think it could sway anything? I mean, is it important?
Not at all. Not at all.
Am I keeping you awake?
No, I'm sorry. So we film these after we work all day, so I'm a little tired tonight. I'm sorry, but so my apologies for the yawning. But we film after we work, so
yeah. I had to drive an hour to get to this fucking farm.
It's hard working on a farm. No, I don't think it sways anything. I don't necessarily think her endorsement's really going to make any difference one way or another at all in this thing. I don't see any reason it would. I don't see why it should.
You don't think it might get young girls, 18, 19, 20 years old, maybe to go out and vote and they wouldn't have?
No, not necessarily. No, I just don't see it, because if that had been the case, we would have seen that in past elections with other people doing things like that, Madonna offered BJs to people last time if they would vote for Biden, come on. I don't see this being...
Maybe 40 years ago, Madonna. Not now. Stop. Did she really?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Did she have to give any? I mean, she'd have to give 87 million people.
She would probably like that.
Or whatever it was.
She would probably like that, right? She's not shy about her sexuality.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what? I say good for Madonna.
It's like if 87 million people are lined up to get one from Madonna, God bless you. God bless her. Have fun.
Good for her.
She might want to have like a dentist on standby because that TMJ is going to be on like epic proportions.
Oh God! I don't think Taylor Swift went anywhere near that route. I think, you know what?
No, she just endorsed. She endorsed the person she thinks that aligns with her. But Taylor Swift is extremely wealthy, extremely insulated from the real world, and I think her
more
fans
so than Kid Rock, who endorsed Trump.
No, not at all. But again, these are insulated people who, are making the decision. They're telling you their personal choice, and that's fine. They're allowed to do that. I mean, what you got? Eminem is on the other side of things, right? He's on the left side of things. I love the music. Love his.
He puts down everybody. He's had songs putting down Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton.
He's bashed everybody.
Tipper Gore, George W. Bush, Donald Trump.
Tipper Gore. I forgot about that.
Let me tell you this: Candace Owens. Listen,
Candace Owens.
He doesn't do it unless you either fuck with him, or you do something that bothers him, like try to ban music or something like that.
Yeah.
So once you fuck with him like Candace Owens did, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna get it hard.
Yeah, well, because that's who he is.
But
he's extremely talented. Taylor Swift is extremely talented.
But Taylor Swift, endorsed. But I actually think she's getting too much heat. I mean, especially from Fox News and Newsmax. She seems to me like a sweet kid, 30 something, right? Whatever she is, kid to me.
30s, right?
She seems like a sweet kid. She doesn't bother anybody. So she tweeted out she likes Kamala Harris.
Mostly just her boyfriend. She writes a lot of songs about him. All her exes.
Whatever.
Listen, God bless her. God bless her career. I have no issue with Taylor Swift. I really don't. No. I don't personally dislike her at all. She's, but to me, it's more so about the overall, like, this entertainer endorsement thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the thing we're really talking about here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like, endorsement during a campaign, right? You work to get endorsements. It helps. But to me, the only endorsements that really mattered were those organizations that actually have policy-driven organizations, so unions or maybe a civic group or something like that. Those matter because they're based on policy, and that's what really should matter in politics is policy.
But we also have entertainers getting involved in policy, and and a lot of our pop culture. It's not just music; it's sports, it's movies. I mean, it's actors. It's everything, and I think it ticks off people on our side more because they tend to be on the other side.
Well,
but yet our side is very hypocritical, right? Because as soon as we get an endorsement from Hulk Hogan or Kid Rock,
all the Hulksters know vote for Trump.
Oh boy, John Voight's a conservative. Did you know that? No, I didn't. And who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But there is this involvement, and it really comes into sports a lot. And I know you're not a big sports fan, but for instance, I texted you an article today. The Miami Heat put out a statement because they're defending Haitians against what Trump said. I mean, I guess I don't mind that they did it, but what is the point? These are sports teams, right? So you have all of these athletes that just constantly involve themselves. I don't mind if they do it on the side, if they tweet something or whatever, but when...
in their personal life, but not as a professional organization.
But in the sport, you make it to where, like, I don't even want to watch, because it becomes such a part of the game. Like, I don't understand why every team in every sport has to have a pride night.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with the sport?
Because it's, they don't want to be on the cancel side of things.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, right? They don't want to be canceled, but then you have, for them, it's a double-edged sword, because either one side's canceling you or the other is, and like, I think it's stupid. This is what I think. I think it's become about virtue signaling and not about actual real discussions.
Absolutely. But the question is, does it make a difference? And I don't know. I don't think it does.
So,
you have like the NFL with their whole end racism thing. Everybody wants to end racism. Like I said, it's a virtue signal. Very few people are left, I think, who promote and endorse racism. So you don't have to have a campaign to put stickers on your helmets or messages in the end zone or have a pride night or any of those sorts of things.
Who gives a shit?
Right, and it just really, really gets annoying. And I know it from sports, but obviously you brought up people like Robert De Niro and Madonna and all this. It's just, but what I don't understand, Mike, is why do people care? Like, why does anybody care what Madonna has to say about anything, or Taylor Swift, or anything other than their art?
Well, I think people like it because they can use it as a validation for their own stuff. Like, so when they're on social media or wherever, and they're virtue signaling, whether right or left, because the right virtue signals just as much as the left does, right? I think we both know that, Yeah. I can't stand a virtue signaling on either side, and both sides do it, and it drives me crazy.
Like what on the right? What are you referring to?
Well, like they virtue signal in the same ways. Like, oh no, you guys are, we call them cultists as much as they call us cultists, or we call them mentally ill as much as they call us mentally ill, or we do whatever it is, and like, and we use whatever celebrities we have on our side as like a, oh, look at our general over here, our guy says, your guy is bad, like.
With the right, it seems to me it's like with Israel, right? If you say one word, you're an anti-Semite. Just as quickly as with the left, if you say one word, you're a racist.
Right.
And it's kind of ironic too, because in Israel they're having protests. The Israelis, they're just like us, right? They're
divided.
Split, they're divided.
Yeah, they're divided.
And you have Israelis protesting in the streets in Israel, calling for a ceasefire and against Netanyahu's policies. You're going to call them anti-Semitic? I mean, that's ridiculous. But if they do it here in America, all of a sudden they're horrible human beings, and they're anti-Semites, and they're pro-terrorists. And so, the right has their, like you say, virtue signaling, and
it happens on both sides, and I think both sides need to stop. That's what it comes down to, is we need to get to a place where we talk about policy. Not partisanship, not what celebrity thinks what, but actual policy. So whether it's a celebrity talking about policy, or it's a politician talking about policy, or it's just regular people like me and Rick here discussing it with all of you, policy. It has to come back to policy. Civil discourse about policy. That's what really matters. It doesn't matter about personalities. It doesn't matter about all the extra crap that we throw on top of this shit, and whatever other so-called celebrity wants to jump in the mix.
But we are a society that, we are celebrity-driven. I mean, celebrities... Mike, sure. I wasn't kidding. They broke into the news. They literally did.
No. I know they did.
They were talking their bullshit about the debate, and they literally stopped because Taylor Swift tweeted out that she's supporting Kamala Harris. That is, what does that say about our society?
I saw something the other day about, I think it's a UFC fighter or something like that. He's got like 2+ million whatever followers on Instagram or something like that. Like, oh, he just endorsed Trump at the Las Vegas rally.
They love him.
Right? And they were like, oh, he just endorsed Trump, and they're touting this thing like this is the greatest thing in the world. And I'm like, good for him. Like, I don't, just like I said, this shit just to me is just, it's complete nonsense. It's like more of the same smoke and mirrors virtue signaling that we had that made things the way it is. Listen, look at policy. Look at results. Look at what it's meant to do. Look at what happens when it's done.
But
that's what it should be about.
It is biased, Mike. I mean, because whenever somebody in the NFL like to kick around the Chiefs, or even Patrick Mahomes' wife tweeted something nice about Trump, or retweeted it, and she caught a lot of shit for it.
Of course she did.
So it is one-sided. So if one football player tweets something terrible about Trump, it's he's civic-minded and he's just.
There's definitely a cultural bias for it, sure, because everybody wants to be like being liberal, and modern liberal, not like classic liberals, but like the modern progressive psycho liberal that we have right now. It's an excuse to be whatever the hell you want. You have no morals. You have no moral like compass, right? So you could just basically do whatever the hell you want, and it's okay. Love is love, and pedophiles are okay, and they're just minor attracted persons. Okay, no, you're a fucking pedophile, right? But that's the kind of the bent of that side of things. And then when you go to the far right, it's like, okay, you either follow this extremely strict, super Christian value system, or you're the almost awful person in the world. So there's both sides have their negatives in this, and we're both faithful, right? We both believe Christ is King. We both have our faith. But I don't think either one of us is willing to sit here and try and trash somebody else to that degree. That's what happens.
That's the antithesis of it. I'm not going to judge other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least I'm not going to judge.
What's happening is we have them doing it both sides. Like you said, Mahomes' wife is getting trashed for saying something nice about Trump.
And she didn't even endorse him or anything. I think she just retweeted something
and they went after her.
Or gave a like or whatever.
And because this is the culture we have now, because social media, it's easy to send a tweet, right, or post on X. It's easy to post on Facebook. It's easy to post any of these places, and you could say the most hateful, awful, nasty thing you could think of, and just throw it right out there into the ether because there's no consequence.
But I just don't understand why anybody cares what either Taylor Swift or Brittany Mahomes thinks.
Nobody should.
Other than the people within their personal life. But
right, and that's who it should be meant for.
See, I have no problem. We brought up Eminem before, and I'm a huge fan of Eminem.
So am I.
And I don't know if he's left wing. I do know he does not like Trump, but
he's left leaning. I wouldn't say he's like left wing.
I don't know because, like I said, he just trashes everybody.
He does shit on everybody.
He does. He shits on everybody.
The guy's great.
But he has put out some song. Like there is a song he put out called "Darkness," which sampled the Simon and Garfunkel "Sound of Silence."
Right. Okay.
And it was an anti-gun song.
Yeah.
Mike, it is such a creative lyric, though. And that's the thing. So if an artist is going to use their talent and write a song that makes you think, and is not just getting on a microphone and lecturing you at the Golden Globes or something, that I have no problem with.
No,
that's what art is. Art is somebody's
it's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to bring you to a place where you're thinking about something.
And it's the person's way of expressing themselves, right?
Yeah,
so whether it's on canvas or on a record,
written word or spoken word or whatever it
whatever.
Might be. Yeah.
I have no problem with that whatsoever, whether I agree with it or disagree with it. I don't like the lectures. I don't like Robert De Niro coming on talking about, he's going to punch Donald Trump in the face or,
that's what's with that guy. First of all, take the damn lifts out of your shoes. Okay, we all know you're like 3 feet tall. Stop.
Why? Because the guy played so many parts as a gangster. He thinks he really is one. He's not. He's a Greenwich Village little moron.
Let me tell you. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of places with tough people, right? I've seen tough. I've seen really tough. I've seen real life Rambos, right? I've seen them. There's not many in the world, and I've seen them. And I'll tell you this, in no way, shape, or form is Robert De Niro even 1/1,000,000.
No, but he's probably convinced himself he is because he got to whack people in Goodfellas. So
because people like celebrities like that, when they rise to that level, they live in this echo chamber where they have all these sycophantic people around them.
Their entire lives,
that reinforce
Mike,
everything they think, everything they say.
Yes.
It's everybody just yeses, and they truly believe the crap that they're spewing.
And that's the key, Mike. Right? I think you hit it right on the head. So you take somebody like LeBron James, right?
Sure.
Who is, he was anyway, I haven't seen it lately, but constantly getting himself involved in political stances.
Yeah.
Again, while on the, I don't care what he does in his own time, but in a post game interview or something where I've paid paid good money to watch, I don't want to be lectured. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan.
Sure.
I've seen Bruce live, got to be 15 times, 10, 15 times, I don't know, a lot. Bruce Springsteen's a very left-wing guy.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's a great, great musician. And every now and then at one of his concerts, he'll
Going some
give
tirade.
a little. Well, it's
Yeah.
not even a tirade. It's just a little thing
Yeah.
here. But I didn't mind. I didn't care that he endorsed Barack Obama and he went out and played concerts for him and everything like
Yeah.
that. That's fine. Just don't lecture me at the Golden Globes. Don't lecture me on anything, because these people, because you're right, they're into, from the time they're kids, they're told they're special.
Yeah.
Because they are in a way, right? I mean, they're more talented than everybody else, or they're a better ball player, or they're a better singer.
Right, they have a talent of some
Right,
kind that makes
and
them stand out.
Once people start seeing dollar signs, right?
And then
Now
you get
you're not exactly, and now you're not going to ever tell them that they're wrong. So you're right.
You
They
know, 'cause
probably
they want to keep
do
getting that
believe the
paycheck
stuff
out of them.
that they have.
Yeah, listen, I mean, look at the Golden Globes, look at the Emmys, look at the Oscars, look at all these shows that that used to be very popular.
Now
Right?
nobody watches them.
Nobody watches them. And what happened? When did that happen? Right around the same time that these idiots decided they were important enough in the world that they were going to use this as a platform to bash you for thinking that you could think for your damn self.
Remember when Ricky Gervais went off on that? When he
Oh, that was epic. And that shit got watched because everybody... And
Oh, yeah.
I'll say this, unless you are like on the very far, far left, everybody from like the mid-left over to the right was absolutely ecstatic about that because it was long overdue. Long overdue.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Normal people, are fed up with it. Nobody wants to be damn lectured. Listen,
No.
You live in... celebrities have a tough time in a lot of ways, and I'm not going to discount that, right? They have to live under a microscope. I mean, you have people harassing them probably in the bathroom, everywhere they go. You can't really have any privacy. Everybody's up here. So I get it. I get that they have a very kind of difficult existence in that way, but it's one they chose. They sought that life. They chose that life.
Sometimes, Mike, but you also got to realize from the time these kids are little, they're used by their parent. I mean, from the time these people
Well, absolutely.
are little,
They're being pushed into these arenas and different agendas.
100%.
Absolutely. But that being said, that still doesn't, give them any kind of, vaulted level of consciousness that they should be able to shit down on the people below them.
No,
like,
of course not.
Stop.
But
Just
it's
stop.
also, I think part of it also is with, artists, whether it's musical or anything else, or actors. They do live in somewhat of an insulated world. I think
Sure,
you're right about
absolutely,
that.
yeah.
But they're also kind of creative, right? And left-wing politics tends to be more about making up new things and finding out new things, right? Conservative...
Reimagining everything.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not even joking.
Yeah, but no, you're right. That's why I find it funny.
Conservatism is more about
Preserving,
right?
Yeah.
So it isn't as creative, if you
Not at
think
all,
about
no.
it, right?
And
So these
conservatism is
artists-
boring. It's very boring. It's
It is,
very
in a way.
monotonous. It's very boring.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this the way this is because this works.
Right. But
Yeah.
left-wing politics does tend to be more creative. Sometimes even, go to the extreme, Bolsheviks and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
that violently creative, but it does tend to be a little bit more of a thinking thing, right? Like, how can we change this to make people, do this and not be this and all of that. So I think that's part of it too, is that artists by nature are creative and maybe they're just drawn to that. I don't know. Or maybe they see dollar signs in it. I don't know. What do you
It's
think?
probably both, right? For some it's probably dollar signs. For some it's some kind of path to power. For others it's a path to relevance, And for some they probably truly believe this stuff, and they're just like, I don't understand why you don't believe it, because look, it makes so much sense if you just look at it like this, this, and this, and you have to exclude all these facts of life. But we're going to look at it like this.
Well, path to relevance was Colin Kaepernick, right? Because remember Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, he got
the one that kneeled
yeah.
for the national anthem. The
Yeah,
quarterback
I
on
remember that whole thing.
Well, he wasn't doing that when he was the starting quarterback going to the Super Bowl, but once he got relegated to the bench, all of a sudden he became a social warrior,
yeah.
and started with the whole kneeling thing. He started that whole kneeling thing. That was 100%, just to be relevant again, right?
And there's a lot of that.
And I almost feel bad for him. He went from Super Bowl winning quarterback to Super Bowl playing quarterback, rather. He lost the game, but made it to the Super Bowl, and then wound up being a bench warmer. And when he became a bench warmer, sitting on the bench, I guess you got to think of things, right? So he thought of something and said, "I'm going to kneel for the national anthem."
He shot his shot, and it didn't end so well. But
No, not at all.
listen, he'll find his own path forward, I'm sure.
Oh, he found his path forward, and he's making tons of money off of it now.
God bless
He's
him.
an anti-racist thing.
God bless him.
But-
That whole thing is kind of another thing that makes me crazy. But Look, I just don't see the celebrity endorsement thing as being any kind of relevant at all. God bless Taylor Swift, very talented. She makes great music. She, her exes have given her plenty of material apparently, so she's doing her thing.
I don't know.
No problem with her, but I just, I don't get the relevance of it. Like,
I think it might
care?
make I don't think it'll sway an election, but I do think it might make a difference only for this reason. So Bruce Springsteen plays to people like me and you, older people. We're already set in our ways. I'm not going to listen to Bruce Springsteen. He's not going to change my mind on anything, right? Taylor Swift appeals to young kids who are still finding their way in life, who have not really grown into a political ideology, who might even be a little rebellious against their parents. Speaking to that group, a group that's 18, 19, 20 years old, as opposed to Bruce Springsteen, who's speaking to old men like us, maybe they are a little bit more persuadable, and maybe,
it might be,
if nothing else, she may get them to go out to the polls and vote. And that's a big thing, right?
We'll find out here. We got less than 2 months to go. We'll find out. I mean, I don't know, but I don't necessarily see it. I don't.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really think it would, though. I think a lot of them are.
You don't think some young kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, who never voted before, might, because she's tweeting it to them all the time?
Maybe we'll see. I guess we'll see.
I don't know. I just know, like I said, she seems like a nice kid to me. I got nothing against her.
Honestly, she's very talented. She's got great music. There's a lot of good songs and stuff. She's very talented girl. I have no problem with her personally.
One other thing I was going to bring up, kind of this whole thing here. You know that song "Lift Every Heart and Sing" or whatever the thing they call the Black National Anthem?
Oh yeah.
So they've been playing that at football games now, especially the Super Bowl and everything. That, my friend, is a virtue signal, and that again. Come on. Why? We have a national anthem. Why divide us? And
because again, it's about power and control, right? You need that division. You need people fighting on the lower levels so that they're not paying attention to what these elitist dirtbags are doing at the upper levels, right? Because at the end of the day, when you get to that top level, it's not about right-left. It's about uniparty, right? It's establishment versus anybody not in establishment. And it doesn't matter about right-left. They don't give a shit about that. As much as they portray that image to you on TV or wherever, that's really not what it's about. It's about power, money, and control. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
And so if we're not fighting each other down here, and we're paying attention to what they're doing up there, well, then they can operate the way they want to operate.
Right, so don't look over here at World War III maybe starting. Look over here where we're going to play the Black National Anthem.
Yeah, exactly. Which, you want a Black National Anthem, that's your business.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever. I don't care. Live your life.
Me
Do what
neither.
you want to do.
And overall, it doesn't bother me when celebrities, endorse somebody, something like that. It's like I said, just don't ram it down my throat when I've paid to see
don't
a show.
beat me up with your bullshit. I didn't come here to listen to you rant on about politics.
And don't ram it down my throat when I pay $80 to go see a hockey game or something.
Yeah.
That's when I draw the line. Just leave me out of it.
Yeah.
Do what you want on your own. I don't care who Taylor Swift endorses. What do you guys think? Do these celebrity endorsements make a difference? Especially with that. I didn't know that she was offering that. There's a chance I would have changed my vote. I mean, honestly, how many people in this world can say they got that? Well, actually, a lot of people can say they got that.
I was going to say, I think it's a pretty big number there. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a pretty big number.
But I don't know. I think, you know what? I think that might persuade people.
People need a lot of help. Like I said, go find God. You need God. That's what you need. You need God. You don't need Gumby on you like that. You need God.
Oh, my God. You just called me a heathen. All right.
Yeah, you are a heathen. That's awful.
Guys, comment down below. What do you think? Taylor Swift, is she going to sway the election and bring it home for Kamala Harris? Maybe. I honestly can't name one Taylor Swift song. Can you?
Shake It Off. Do you know why I remember that song?
How?
There was a cop. I forget. It was like Connecticut or something like that. He took that song, and it's him driving around in his car, and he's singing it. He's like lip-syncing the song as he's driving around in his patrol car in uniform. And it ended up, it went viral. The video clip went viral. It's hysterical.
Is this her biggest hit or something?
Not her biggest hit, but one of her big ones. But it went viral because this cop, this like old white fat cop, is out there singing this song while he's driving around. And like at certain points he stops, he's like staring at someone, But it's really funny. And it came out after the fact that it was actually kind of staged or whatever, just to kind of help promote community involvement with police and make them realize that cops aren't all the monsters.
That's cool. That's great.
It was a great video. It was awesome, and I absolutely love it. But that's the one I remember the most.
Didn't that chick start off as a country singer?
She might have.
I vaguely remember something like that.
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. I know my youngest right now, our Bella Boo. You've seen her in previous episodes. She's quickly becoming a Swiftie. She's been playing Taylor Swift a lot lately.
Yeah, I think it's a rite of passage for little girls. I think they almost
she's
have to be. But anyway, like I said, nice kid. Don't know if she'll sway the election. She may get some people out to vote.
I don't think so, but
Who
she'll probably
knows?
get some people out to vote.
Maybe.
Listen,
What do
if
you guys
she gets
think?
people more civically engaged, that's not necessarily a bad thing. People should get civically engaged, but
I'd like it
on-
more if
on
they were
Trump's
civically
side.
engaged
Yeah.
on our side.
I want on my side, but
let's be honest. Don't be civically
I'd rather
engaged.
be on
if you-
my side. But if we're being completely fair and honest,
I think all
civil
these people are
engagement's
such
good.
liars when they say, "Well, we just want people to get out to vote. We don't really care if they vote for us." Come on,
No,
stop.
absolutely. You want people to vote for your side. That's just the way
Democrats,
it is.
stay home.
Yeah.
You don't have to vote. It's not the law. You don't have. It's a right, but you don't have to.
Not stay.
Tell them to stay home.
Stay home.
What do you guys think about what we just talked about? Comment down there below. Subscribe. Our numbers are going up, 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 up. Mike,
Pretty
I'm
quickly.
loving it.
Yeah, pretty quickly. You guys are really, really kicking butt for us, and we
Yeah.
appreciate it. Every view we get, we're very thankful
Until
for.
recently, we could count our subscribers on our fingers.
That's true. We could.
Now we need all 10 of your fingers, all 10 of your toes, all 10 of my toes, and a few of my fingers.
That's right.
Right? 10,
Yeah.
20, 30. Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're gonna pretty soon we'll be running out of fingers.
I don't want to know what we have to use after that. You guys have a good night. Subscribe, comment.
Yeah, get down below, comment. Let us know what you think about celebrity endorsements, all of it. Let's get.
And
in
watch the
conversation.
video we put out before this. It was a couple before this where we actually reacted to the comments that we got. So hopefully that'll inspire you to comment. We'll give you a shout out
Yeah,
by
definitely
name
comment.
if
Yeah,
you
we wanna
give us something to really think about or talk about.
we want to hear from you guys. We want to have this conversation. So definitely get in that comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know how you feel. Let us know your thoughts one way or the other.
Absolutely.
If it's respectful and not completely just disrespectful, we'll absolutely talk about it and we'll discuss it and hopefully you get to see it.
And what was it called now? Shake it off?
Shake it off, yeah.
All right, so you're a Swiftie, huh?
I'm a Swiftie now, apparently.
All right,
my
Mike the
peanut's a
Swiftie.
Swiftie, so I got to be a Swiftie right now for my peanut. So it is what it is.
Join us next time on the Dirt Road. Say
Thank you
goodbye.
guys. Appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share. Get in the conversation. We'll see you next time, guys. Thank you. Good night.
Adios.